Today is an interesting day. Of course, if you are day trading, we have a pretty big news announcement, the non-farm employment coming up from the US in 2 hours' time. So you can anticipate that the whole market is waiting and watching. So with that in mind, typically on non-farm payroll, I don't trade before the session. Before the news announcement, I like to come in after the news announcement and have a look and see if anything that I am trading is setting up. However, having said that, I do look at the markets, and just for the sake of time, I'm going to use a profile that I call ultra endurance trading. I'll talk about that at some other time after I've spoken to Paul. But what I always do is look at what took place yesterday. So this is the low of yesterday. Big sell-off right at the end of the US session. This was the last couple of hours of the US session. Follow through in the Asian session, went sideways, follow through, and we've come back to test the low of yesterday. So I'm definitely going to be watching this index, that's Nikkei 225. I'm going to be watching it when you get to the news to see if the bears that created this sell-off and that have been defending the low of yesterday, if they're going to be fully active in the market. If they're strong, the bears at the news, depending where we're at, we're still a couple of hours away. They want to just create a bear trend. So that would essentially be a bear trend, end of the US session. This would just be a big pullback, and then the trend would continue. Now, let's using this one. So if you look at any particular chart, whatever it is that you are trading, and you see this setup, this is the mindset you got to have going into non-farm payroll. So if you look at the daily, okay, so my thinking, as I said, I'm seeing end of the US session, big bear sell-off, continuation, and the bears are defending the low of yesterday. So I'm very interested in this short at the news. If I go to the daily, this might give us a view. Now look at the daily chart. So remember, I just spoken about the low of yesterday, huge bear candle. So my immediate thinking, if the bears are strong that created that, I could do this on the 5-minute, but just for clarity, it's the same thing. I do a measured move, low of yesterday, high of yesterday. The potential for the bears is to get down here. That's what the bears want to do. That's why they created this big trend candle. The market is below the 10 EMA, which are used to indicate strength of the trend. They have already raised a lot of this bullish price action. So we're coming off a high double 12, big sell-off. So for the bears, their goal is to get here. In the way for them is this particular level. I'm just going to mark it here. This is the low of March. So when I get down there, market gets down there, we'll see it. It looks far, but if you think of measured moves, which indicate for us a higher probability direction for a market, we're already beneath the low of yesterday. The market is waiting for that catalyst. So if it sets up, I'm going to be there, decent bear trend. If we get it, I'm going to work through it. Now, depends what time it comes, depending where you are at, it's probably into evening. For me, news is only at 2:30 p.m. So I still got a lot of time to go. Let's jump to a currency, USD CAD, just for time's sake. So this, it's the same kind of principle you've got to apply across all markets. Again, because, so you might ask, well, why are you only concerned about what happened towards the end of the US session? The only reason for that, think about it logically, is the news is coming into the US session. It's just an hour before the US session opens, so it's kind of pre-market for the US market. And I'm thinking the bulls that came into the market towards the end of the session, they're going to be very keen to see if there's continuation. If I look at what has taken place so far, bull breakout, bit of a pullback, profit taken, and bull continuation. So if you were in the Asian market time frame, this would have been a good opportunity for you to take this trade, this bull breakout, especially after that breakout pullback, and we've kind of continued towards there. Now, my thinking again is the bulls are defending the high of yesterday. There was a pullback there, profit taken, we broke above it quite strongly. There was an initial test of it. Pretty good, right? Breakout, pullback. We speak about that as one of our strategies, and continuation. Then we've come back and the bears haven't shown much strength. So again, I am thinking with the news, if the bulls are strong, with the news catalyst, they will give us a big bull trend candle. So I'm going to be looking specifically for markets that are bullish, like I'm showing you here. I'm going to be looking for bull trend candle with that news announcement. Okay, I don't want one of these dodgy candles, just goes up, comes down, comes up, and creates a dodgy. It may still work over a prolonged period of time, but I'm not going to sit around and wait for that. But if I get, you see this, but any of these candles, okay, if the news is as strong as we anticipate for non-farm payroll, of course, the candles will be bigger. It could be as big as that. But this is the structure of the candle I'm looking for. A trend candle, small tail at the top, small tail at the bottom, no tail at the top, and no tail. That would be fantastic. Then I can decide how to trade it. Either trade the breakout, wait for the pullback, and see if the bulls are going to follow through. So, showing you one index, I'm showing you Canadian. I am bullish in the Canadian, but let's look at the daily time frame, okay, just to see where this measured move could take us. Now, I don't want to create any confusion for my devoted price action fans. I can still do a measured move here. There is first leg. Okay. And there was the end of the second leg. So it would indicate, if I use that as the first leg, pull back end of the session as the second leg, that these bulls alone, okay, they will be satisfied if they get to a measured move up here. Okay, so had we hit the measured move already, I'll say, okay, these bulls are satisfied, maybe fresh bulls will come in. So there's still room for those bulls to get there. But there is an even bigger measured move based on, if I look at the daily. Okay, so you see where we have. This is what we marked in the 5 minutes. I'm just going to do that. Okay. Somewhere. All right, that's the measured move we mark on 5 minutes. Now, that measured move, you can quickly see that every time the market go to there, it failed to break out. So it is a magnet that the bulls want to get to. And if the bulls are strong, they want to break out above this. Now, when you look at the daily candle for the bulls, yesterday's daily candle, okay, when the market opened, huge sell-off. The bears got to this low. That was the low of yesterday, huge sell-off for the day. And then the bulls came back, as we saw, towards the end of the US session, a bit of a pullback. So it's a low test candle. The only problem for the bulls is the tail on top, which would have been fantastic. They'd had a decent enough low test candle closing above or near its high. A candle like this, see this one here? That would have been fantastic without a tail on top. So the tail on top is a little bit problematic. So the bears, it's problematic, but it makes sense in the context of all these attempts by the bulls to get above this level. Still, I'm going to be looking to see if the bulls are strong enough to complete their measured move from the US session and get here. And then, of course, if the bulls are stronger than the bears, they will have the opportunity with the catalyst of the news to break out above this level, 1.36, whatever level it is, if you round it off. Okay. From here, bear breakout, the level was first created here, bears sold off, and all along the bulls have tried to break out and failed, tried to break out first. So they have an opportunity with the news catalyst, not just to get to that initial measured move, based from here to there, not just that, but to go beyond that. So I am bullish again with this market. Let's have a look at across Aussie yen. Okay, so big sell-off again, end of the US session. So you can pick up virtually any market that you want. Excuse me. Can pick up any market that you want and go through this kind of scenario, even if you're not going to be trading it. You can then have a look at it tomorrow and say, oh, this is what happened. So that next time around, if you get this kind of structure before a news release, you can have a look at it. So this is, let me flip through to here. You see Nikkei 225, big sell-off, and we've kind of hang beneath the low of yesterday. Aussie yen is slightly different, big sell-off, pull back. We broke beneath the low of yesterday, and the bulls have come back pretty strongly, and they have not just hung around like they did on Nikkei 225. There's been a deep pullback to test this level here, which was the end of the pullback yesterday, which is the early morning session highs, the Asian session. And that's kind of where we are now. Going into the session, can you hear buzz and sound? Please forgive me. I should have closed my windows. The traffic outside. So we've come back to test that level, and now the bears are trying to accelerate down. For me, going into this market, I'm bearish, but I'm only bearish if we break beneath this low. Okay, and I'm bearish because of this sell-off. Now, something else which I didn't point out on the earlier ones that kind of helped me become bearish in this market. I'm going to put it on so you can understand why I didn't bother about that, because it was pretty obvious it was not an issue. So here, if this green line, it's not a light, green line. This green line here, high of yesterday, this one here, low of yesterday. If I looked at the full range of yesterday, that's the full range of yesterday. The 50%, the midpoint of yesterday is there. So for me, I'm still bearish for this market because although we've had a deep pullback, breaking above this high where the bear sellout came off, testing the high of the Asian session, the bulls have not managed to retrace 50% of the range of yesterday. So as long as the bears continue to sell off in the next hour and a half or hour and 3/4, whatever it is we still have, I'm still going to be bearish. But for this particular market, I'm really going to be looking to sell if we get beneath this low. So quick look at euro. Euro, I'm really not as keen as I am like on CAD, because this sell-off was not as strong as we were. But if we do get down to this level of strength, I will consider it. I'm not going to look to jump into several markets. I want to look at one that's pretty neat. CAD, we spoke about bullish. Euro Oz, nothing I'm doing. We are in the middle of the range of yesterday. High of yesterday, low of yesterday. As far as news reaction, I'm doing nothing. When I say news reaction, I'm talking about base news candle. What does it look like? What's going to happen the next 3, 4, 5 candles? Thereafter, if I'm still active, then I'll look for other opportunities. Aussie 200, big sell-off, and try to break out of the open, pull back, sell-off. And again, I'm going to wait here. I'm not particularly keen to do anything as far as news is concerned. My primary focus on these markets is Nikkei and US CAD. Those are the two that I'm actively looking at. And then I'll jump in and look at Aussie yen. All right, guys, I hope that helps you in terms of just preparing for the news ahead. If you've been in the market and caught some of the moves, absolutely fantastic. If you've been trading the Asian session, perfectly well to trade comfortably anything that you would have seen. You're still way away from any news breakout. So, if you manage to catch any of these moves, particularly well done to you. All right. Thank you very much. Sincerely appreciate. We will catch up again next week. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.